I would say balance means having equal energies in different aspects of your life. I've known Dexter since 2013 and I have been dating him since 2014. So I've known him for 8 years and I've dated him for 7 years. Long time.
What's actually funny is that initially some of the challenges I faced with like working on this mixtape was giving it a name, because the journey was actually one of the first names that came up, but it felt too cliche. Like, why journey? I mean, it's my journey throughout university. I mean, I was trying to balance being an artist, being a voiceover artist, being a student in school, you know, trying to get that degree. You know, by no means is it easy.
Unza, roller coaster, is how I would describe our journey there. It really wasn't easy for us, and we went from just being two really young people, because we were teenagers the time we got to Unza, and we literally just grew up there, and were able to realize that we were not the same people that we were when we had gotten there. So we went through a lot of things.
There was one point when I thought, yo, this guy is gonna miss out on so much with his education because he's pursuing something he really loves.
I skipped a lot of classes, not because I wanted to, well, yeah, I did, but mainly at important points in my school life, I'd get invited outside the country. I remember the first time I got invited out, I had to go to South Africa, you know, and my lecturer at the time had to move a test because she was considerate of one of her students. Shout out, Miss Roberta.
Pretty nervous. This is my first time in Bloemfontein. I'd like to say thank you so much for being so welcoming. You guys are awesome.
The last time I went to SA was 2019, before this whole corona mess. And I was there for an extended time because I moved from Bloemfontein to Midrand to Randburg. You know, I was in that place. I was even feeling like, you know what, I might just move here and become an artist. I remember calling up my girlfriend and telling her, I'm gonna quit school because this artist life is working for me.
At some point, he thought he couldn't juggle school and his music. So he wanted to quit school because he thought he couldn't do it all. We were in second year at the time.
When I follow what is routine, second and third, I promise I wouldn't quit for the dream, but God had told me that school is just part and parcel of things.
There is this freedom that comes with a cultural shift where people are more aware of other things that they can do, and then maybe society or the family is not necessarily aware of those possibilities. So it becomes very difficult.
And she was like, no, you can't do that. Your family's depending on you. I felt like Clark Kent at the time.
The family's response to Dexter quitting would have been, I don't think it would have been a good response, because looking at the African mindset, people really believe in school than in talents.
I don't think I was going to take it kindly because I didn't understand much about what he was going to have done. But I would really have encouraged him if he had told me. Frankly speaking, he never mentioned it to anyone. I think he took it personal. So he never shared with anyone, and it is something that he knew that we are not going to let him do as a family.
And it took him a while to be able to realize that he can actually do school and be a voiceover artist and be a rapper and be a singer. If I'm to be specific, it took like 2 years for him to be able to realize that, but he really has grown in the way that he balances different areas and aspects of his life.
I'm balancing still between being a voiceover artist and a copywriter and being a musical artist, you know. And my excuse is that I use the money I make to invest in my art, you know, when I could just be doing one thing and live off that. But we live in Zambia. Yeah.
I think it's possible to pursue two things at the same time, where you're an artist and you're also, you've got some gainful employment somewhere to make you balance things. Obviously, you need money. I say that as much as it's possible, it's also harder to do. So it just depends on what you're doing. It depends on what you're doing and how much. Are you ready to get off work at 5 p.m. and then put in another 7 hours into your music consistently every single day for months or years? Like, it depends on your energy, you know? If you've got a lot of energy, you can do it.
He found his peace. His peace was in doing poetry, but at the same time equipping himself in his academics, in his studies, and hey, he made it. So his journey has been pretty much filled with flaws, but right now where it is, I'd say he's hit the mark. He's got it good.
Yeah, I mean, we can tell that I listened because I eventually got the degree, you know. But yeah, speaking of my girlfriend, there was also that I had to balance.
Let me take you through my journey. Have you slept the night so hungry that you wish your God just burned me? And your girl left you depressed, so you ask what more can hurt me? As you stand on top of hostel looking down, feeling unworthy. That was me in second year. I promise I would have quit. Thought about my bright future and felt like it was so dim. Didn't think my definition it would be so paper thin. Staring off into the night, feeling like original sin.
Many of my clients that I see, those that are depressed and those that are anxious, actually there's something to do with, there's a lot to do with love dynamics.
Attention is hard to give when you're split, you know. You have your passions, you have stuff that you're so passionate about, and you know, your girl is there like, give me time. I want time with you. I want to know what's going on in your life. I want to know what's going on with you. But I communicated it. No, you ain't communicated till there is an echoing of vulnerability. I'm still learning what that means.
I remember a time when there were girls in the audience that were speaking about me and him. And they didn't know that I was his girlfriend and that I sat in the back. So they were saying, oh, this girl, she doesn't deserve to be his girlfriend. She's not pretty enough. What. I don't know what. People can just talk. So I normally like to sit on my own and just listen. And sometimes I just start screaming because I want people to know. So I start screaming. But they were surprised when the show was done and I was right there next to him holding his hand. And they were just like, oh, so they felt ashamed. So it was difficult to deal with his fans because they would just get really overwhelming and they would really want to take pictures for long periods. Some of them would find his number and call him at awkward hours. So that really wasn't easy for us. And also school just got really overwhelming. So we didn't have time to spend together as much as we would like to, and as much time that we did have in first year, it was much, much easier.
So many people that are prone to depression are also, if you trace back a lot of the things that have happened, you find that there was at some point or currently there is something wrong with their love life, most especially young people.
Especially between third and fourth year, it was just so crazy. But we made it. We found a strategy that worked for us. We found ways to communicate and intentionally spend time together. So we found balance in our relationship.
Now the dynamic has shifted so much that she works now. We're done with school. She works. I'm working on my projects. I'm balancing still.
You find that a healthy love life is proportional to a healthy mental state.
I love you, baby. I don't know how many times I said it already, but I'm sure by now you know. Truth is magical. The love that we share is only because we close to the one that made the stars and the one that has the ghost that is holy, and he placed us in the door.